As soon as we woke up, we realized that the cold temperatures were debilitating. The only thought of moving around camp gave us chills. We needed a fire to warm ourselves up.
Belle scintille fatte così. Faccio una trovata in questo acceso.
After all of the striking from yesterday, my hands were in huge pain, but luckily after using the tinder we managed to get a fire. So we got the fire going, and I forgot to mention, we got this big piece of bark to act as a reflector, as a heat reflector. It really reflects the heat, I don't know how, but it really does help with keeping the temperature with us. So once we warmed up, it was time to actually build a shelter once and for all, because I didn't want to sleep that cold again. The base looks amazing, the color is so good. It has to be finished, so I'm gonna take some moss now. Also there are these, I guess chestnuts. I've opened one and there is obviously chestnuts inside. I'm wondering if they can be eaten now or there is a specific time of the year. I know nothing about this shit, but imagine we had roasted chestnuts for lunch. That would be amazing. So hopefully they can be eaten, and later we will try to and see if we can. But there is also chicken of the wood that we found earlier. Hopefully we can get that too. And now let's take some moss. Gathering the moss was very satisfying, and after that I started to patch up the roof, okay, with some bark I found around. I also found a dead tree, which is the one I saw at the beginning, and I noticed that the bark will be peeled off pretty easily, so I decided to gather that for the roof as well. fumarci. We're making the roof, and it's coming out quite nice. It's kind of getting more and more isolating. Let's add some moss now. As we kept adding the moss, the base was looking more and more like a base, okay? It was getting covered up and it felt comfortable, okay? It felt safe. And hopefully it will feel warm in the night, because again, I don't want to sleep there in the fucking cold. Alright, so the shelter is coming on pretty well. I've got to make the wall right here. I'm gonna make it horizontal, and I made a coat hanger. Okay, it is like something I learned on YouTube a while ago, and it's basically a simple log with a spike here, which is tied to a tree. Okay, I found this like lying around. A friend of mine found this. It's basically trash, and it's very useful now. So I make this coat hanger. It simply wraps around there, and it's very strong. Okay, I didn't expect it, but holds up pretty much any weight you put it in. So yeah, it's pretty useful. I'm gonna make a few, maybe to hang some other backpacks or some other stuff. Okay, so this is how it's going now. We boiled some water here in a glass bottle, and yeah, hopefully we don't get diseases from this water. I honestly never drank boiled water. I usually brought water myself, so there's gonna be a new one for me. And yeah, it's pretty hot right now, so I don't know how. Honestly, I didn't even see that boil, and I know it should boil for a bit, but I mean, it kind of stayed under the fire for a long time. I think it is safe to drink. Okay, I'm not a scientist, but I mean, I don't think anything is gonna survive there. So we picked up the mushrooms, the chicken of the woods, and we're cooking it. Let's try a piece. Well, I was a little bit too fast there. The mushroom was still very raw, so I just waited and started building on the shelter. I made the walls and it was looking awesome. Making progress with the shelter. Made the wall here. I have to fortify it a little bit, and then last improvement is going to be to cover that, and maybe up there, and some minor adjustment here. Last point will be to cover up the front so that we can hold up the heat better. So we have to cover this up, but other than that it's coming up pretty good. Maybe tonight we will not fucking freeze to death.
Meglio di prima.
Sì, però ci vorrebbe dell'olio.
Second attempt. Anche il sale però.
Sì. Ci sa il sale? Che ne pensi?
Però
Buono.
mi piace sta un botto. Però è umami. Non è salato, però è buono. So it's not.
Passaggio di coltello.
No! There is a little bit of bitterness, but
That's the poison.
see, that's the poison, and but it's savory. It's not salty. It tastes bad. It doesn't taste good. But
sto creando
it's like
un cazzo di
a little
legno
bit savory.
per la tua
It's kind of palatable. Better than nothing, I guess.
estasi.
Grazie, fra.
Sa di legno.
Sa di legno.
Legno poroso. Legno poroso, fra. Bravo. E l'esteriore l'hai descritto perfettamente.
But overall, not the best thing. If I was dying, I would eat that, to be honest. So yeah, I'm not hungry. It's been over a day. I've not eaten. I'm not hungry. I don't know why. Anyway, this is how it's going on. The wood is pretty much done. Now I'm gonna try to fill out the holes and maybe fix the floor a little bit if it needs to be fixed. Honestly, this was very comfortable last night, so I don't think it needs any improvements. Maybe we'll fill out the holes here with some dirt or some moss maybe, and even that hole. See you later. I found like this blue stick, but what the fuck? This is crazy. Honestly, I've never seen a pigmentation like this. This is blue. Okay, this is some kind of yeast. I don't fucking know what this is, but this is not dye. This is not painted. Okay, and it's fucking blue. That's amazing. Look at this. It's crazy. It's not very visible, but we are done with the front side, kind of. There's still some moss to be put here, and the side here is also done. Yeah, kind of. So that is done here. Also the back is properly cut. The side wall is done. This is the place where we put the wood, firewood. Yeah, see the inside. Can see shit. You're gonna see it tomorrow. So I'm in the den and it looks good in the shelter. It's kind of a cabinet. Sorry, a cabin. So yeah, there's the fire here. We're trying to warm the hut, and hopefully this will be insulating enough to be warm at night, maybe. So at this point the shelter was very cozy. I can clearly remember I heard a sound outside. Okay, I was taking a piss and I heard that I have some rustling in the bushes, and I was so scared. I ran back into the shelter like a fucking scared kid, and man, I felt so safe. I felt protected. Like if there was anything else outside, I would have felt safe there. In the original video file I also mentioned, and by the way, if you wanna see the full video like without any cuts, I put a link in the description. I also mentioned that this shelter was probably one of the best shelters we've ever made in terms of aesthetic and maybe usefulness, but you know, we'll never know that before the end of the night. And there is also a fucking window here. I don't know if you already saw this, but it's fucking crazy.
L'ho scoperto perché piaceva a mia mamma.
And yeah, we are going to cover this with a piece of cloth we found here as trash, as a loot. Yeah, that's kind of it. We kind of reinforced all the walls with moss and shit, so that's kind of everything. Let's see how we're gonna sleep tonight. In a few minutes I'll try to sleep and see if this works. Okay, let's see if this keeps us warm. Good night. Okay, so with this we wrap up our journey. This is the last morning we'll have to spend in this place, and let me tell you, the night wasn't exactly how we planned it to be. We had the fire close to the shelter, but the heat just didn't penetrate, it just didn't stay inside. I tried heating up, trying to basically light a small fire, very controlled fire on a piece of bark inside the shelter. Obviously it wasn't nearly enough heat to warm up the shelter. It was just like a little fucking embers, like some small embers on top of some bark, and yeah, in hopes of warming something up, but it wasn't enough. Absolutely was not. Some rocks, we even placed some hot rocks inside the shelter. Obviously it wasn't nearly enough, so it wasn't very successful of a shelter, to be honest. We ended up freezing anyway, and we were even more people this time. We were 3 people inside this shelter. The guy from the hammock decided to join us in hopes that it will feel a little bit warmer. Just didn't work out. Okay, so that's what happened. It wasn't hot, it wasn't warm at all, so it was a fail on our end. So the shelter did not work, and yeah, we kind of failed in that. But that's fine. So we woke up and the next thing to do was to light a fire and feast on our emergency food. Okay, this is the last step of any survival experience. You have to feast on the food you brought for emergency at the end of the experience. That's kind of the rule. And wow, those were the best pork rinds I've ever eaten. As you can see, I got my pork rinds and my pork lard, so yeah, I got everything I need. And yeah, honestly, I was enjoying this a little bit too much. This is the first meal after 2 days, I think. 2 days and a half of not eating. I've not eaten anything apart from those 2 bites of mushroom.
Anche alle palle.
Fuck, this is so good. Honestly, not that hungry. I don't know why, but
Voi non avete fatto la full body sciacquata più. Anche senza fare il bagno, una sciacquata.
this is just
Io mi sono sciacquato la faccia
so
un paio
good.
di volte.
I'm gonna keep eating,
Comunque va mangiato,
and then there is this pork fat. So yeah, honestly, I have some theory of why I'm not feeling tired and hungry.
Non dovrebbe.
I don't feel tired at all, like, at all. Usually I feel tired at this point. Maybe it's the diet. Maybe being like fat adapted helps. By, you know, not feeling tired. I have a whole,
Sì,
there is a whole, you know, theory about that. I can maybe put it up on the screen.
fa un po' schifo.
But essentially, if you're used to using fat as your energy, which I am at the moment, you don't feel tired immediately because you don't have to rely on glucose as a energy source.
Sinistra.
So you, like with the fat you have in your